Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about starting to remove some of these witchy spells casted upon us out here. You know what I mean? So there is a lot of spells being tossed around out here that's placed on us, that's being implemented in the future for us already now. So what kind of brought me to the subject today was kind of like what I was discussing yesterday, just kind of about the concepts that some of the beings be having as far as like believing that you cannot make change in the world yourself. You know, that's not the point of discussion today. But when you are in society and you understand that majority, meaning 90% and more most likely, are going to be receiving their information from their source. Their source is the system that is in charge at hand. You know what I mean? So if the system at hand is allowing you, or I don't like to say allowing, I should say condoning in behaviors, because we can do whatever the fuck we want to do, you know, whether it's consequences or repercussions behind it. You have the choice to do what the fuck you want to do. But they condone and they reward witchcraft and spells, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you pretty nice at casting spells on beings around you, you know, making them feel lesser, you know, the spells that's for the lower vibrating frequencies, you know what I'm saying, and the ones that the evil ones like to use, because some shit is low vibrational, but it's not evil intention, you know, it's not something that's here to harm you or done to harm you. But understanding some of the word spells, and even if you don't fully grasp the concept of it, you just have to think about how they challenge your common sense, you know, the basic things that we know just from off our instincts. So like, I was talking to somebody, like my nephew or somebody, about the eagle and just how big of a bird it is, and you know, just how it don't really have the same kind of worries that a lot of other animals that's inhabiting this realm would have to be concerned with, you know? It's not a lot of things in birds, or they won't have a lot of beef up in the sky, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not something that they have to worry about or experience. So I was using that comparison with that and to little birds, you know, like both of them can fly extremely high, extremely well. And it has to do with their spirit, and it also has to do with the build of the vessel, you know what I mean? And I say it has to do with both, right? Because it's been plenty of beings out here creating similar things that kind of look like it, right? But we don't have the full mechanisms to kind of just take off the way they do, kind of just like standing right here and then just take off the same way they do. So you have to know that it's a spiritual tie and connection to them in their vessel, which allows them to kind of be able to fly. If we made and emulated wings the way they do, we always got to jump off a cliff or do some weird shit. You know what I mean? So density and gravity, you know, density makes more sense. I wouldn't take that as a spell, you know. If I pick my phone up and I drop it or throw it down, or if I try to sit it up here, it's gonna drop down. The weight and the density of it is gonna make it fall faster. It's gonna have to come down to the ground. But then you have this thing called gravity, you know, which is some invisible force that's forcing things down to the ground. But if you have an invisible force forcing things down, then how are the birds flying up? Because they aren't using artificial power like helicopters and airplanes and things of this nature. So when you understand that, you may be aware of the big spells, but you have the small spells that also work too. And then you have the little pebble spells that's just kind of a counter to kind of just get you loose and wiggled up, so that way even if you juke this one, you still got another spell over there. And I'm only using gravity, you know, as one of the spells that they use, because I don't believe in gravity. I don't believe it's some invisible force forcing this shit down. You know what I'm saying? The invisible force is forcing this down, and it's forcing wind to blow this way. Remove the spells. Remove the spells. That means you have to understand that your abuser is not on your side. So stop believing or feeling as if they have your best interests at heart. You know, that's why so many spells out here casted. We all know that Christopher Columbus did not discover this land, but nobody's came out public and said, okay, this being was the one who said it and implemented in the book, so this is why he was there, and now we're gonna remove him. But let them tell it. We deserve a Juneteenth. You want to re-bring up some old ass history from this culture and implement it as a holiday? That don't make sense to me. Why would you bring this one up but then not bring the other one up to correct it? That's how you have to know that it's a lot of witches and warlords. There's a lot of spell casting going on out here. And when the guy had made that statement about, you know, you can't change the world, blah, blah, it was just like, it felt like a spell casting, like he had the wand and was trying to work it. But if you watch Harry Potter, you know, the other team has a wand too. They're gonna whip that shit right back at you. It ain't no sucker shit over here. Like, there's no weak beings over here. That's why you have to catch us slipping. You think about it. If we was weak, you wouldn't have to catch us slipping. You'd be able to come see me hands up, spirit up, straight up. It's not the case. Not with us. That's not the case. That's why they have to do the sneak attacks and all the other weird shit. Maneuver behind the scenes and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of word spells out here. And you have to be aware and mindful of them, or you will be trapped. And it's also like, we all wear new clothes or fresh clean clothes every single day, even though technically we don't have to. But because our environment does it, we force ourselves into these habits and these things to do, you know. And eventually you have to start taking some of these small steps to kind of grow your strength and build more courage for you to be strong within yourself, so you can stand on your own too yourself, you know. It's not a problem with having people to lean on this way, to lean on that way, to lean on this way, to lean on this way. But if they got shit going on, you should be able to stand there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a help, assist. It shouldn't be them holding you the entire time. And that's where these spells come into place at. So, and they taught the ones around us how to use these spells and how to cast them. So that's why it's important for you to shoot shit down when people are spilling shit out there, you know. Because if you don't, then it's going to be spilled over in your spirit world. Now you're going to be pondering and thinking on it, and then it actually may work. It actually may work. You know what I'm saying? Spells do work. That's why they use them. So I'm not making it seem like they don't work. Them shits do work. That's why you have to be aware of what the fuck is going on out here. You know? Because we all kind of got lost in the sauce and had to refine our way. You know? It's just so happened a lot of us, some of us was guided what we thought was blindly by the creator, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't get too far off track, because they knew we was gonna need these vessels. We just had to go through the experience, you know. So just being mindful of the spells that's going on out here, the casting that's going on out here. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it. So if you're not aware of it, you're gonna find yourself in a sunken place, and you're gonna be kind of confused why you're in this sunken place or what the hell is going on or happening. Or you may find yourself spewing out information that's not accurate because someone casted a spell on you to spew out incorrect information. You know what I mean? Because that keeps their agenda going. But Yeah, it's cold out here today. I'm definitely not about to run it up too long. Y'all gonna see I can barely stay still. That's why I keep moving like this. Oh my God. The weather shifts and changes in Virginia so much and so fast. Like, it is ridiculous, but I love it out here. You know, not necessarily in the Matrix, but that's why I try to dip outside that bitch as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? You gotta dip outside as much as you can, cause that shit is gonna have you diluted like a motherfucker. You know, and it's gonna have you in comparison to shit you really don't even need to be in comparison to. Like, your road is not even the same as mine, but because I'm looking at you and we're in the same field, I feel like I'm comparing myself. I don't need to compare myself. Let me get away from this energy. You know what I'm saying? But tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.